episode 145.
Are you ready to take your eBay business to the next level? Then hold on, because Ron and Ali are going to take you into the fast lane with the latest tips and insights from some of the biggest and most successful sellers here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
Welcome once again to another episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. I'm Ron LeBeau.
And I'm Ali Young.
Hey, everyone. We have with us today a tag team match of Nancy and George Annino. How you guys doing tonight?
Very good. Thank you.
We're doing great.
Nice.
Awesome. I'm not even going to ask Ali, you know, because he always says it's beautiful. Well, forget it, Ali. We're just going to go right into the bio here.
Forget me. Don't worry about me, Ron. Yeah, no, let's
Nancy
get straight into the
and George
people.
are a husband and wife team that run a full-time eBay business. They started about 5 years ago selling mostly plush and collectibles. Over the course of 5 years, they went from 50 active listings to a high of 6,500, and they're currently managing 3,000 active listings. Holy cow.
Damn.
That is a lot of listings, man. Wow.
A lot of listings. Yes, it is.
So you say you're managing that. I don't know if I'd be able to manage that.
Well, it's much better now because we're even lower than the 3,500. We're just trying to really purge the old dead stock, the stuff that just isn't selling we've had for 5 years. But as I start purging, lo and behold, tonight something will sell from 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And you're like, why did I end all that other stuff? But,
Damn, I should have left it on there.
just have to get rid of the old.
Can't hear you, Ron. You're doing your mute kung fu thing again. He does this. I can't believe how he's been practicing.
That's right. That's right. So basically what I was trying to say is if you want to go ahead and answer that question, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I was testing my mute button, and it does work, so we're back in business here.
Yep.
But I was asking, how do you actually purge? There's several ways people do it. I just wanted to see how you guys actually make that happen for you.
I will sort by lowest price first. So if I've got things out there that I keep marking down and it's still not selling, I'll sort by price and start getting rid of everything $20 and under. You know, looking at some of the items, I already know that it's from 5 years ago.
Yep.
Do a lot of end listings and sell similar, so I can't track it by original list date because I don't see that anymore.
Right.
Mm.
So
But,
I can't that way.
She can tell pretty much by the quality and the pictures that are there and how old they are because, you know, as I take the pictures over the last 5 years, my style and my skill
It's changed.
I can hear the tone in your voice with that one, as I've been taking the pictures for the last 5 years. So,
Yeah.
I don't take pictures.
So now they're much better, and she can tell whether it's an old listing that I took a picture of in front of a burlap background versus
you
a real
go.
nice white one,
Yeah.
you know, so it's
Amazing.
kind of easy to tell.
So
Yeah,
you started off with 50 5 years ago, and now you're up to this many. So what's that?
Yeah.
Did you see that the process was working? Are you just thoroughly enjoying it? What made you do that massive step?
just an addiction,
Yep, we know that one.
a pure addiction. Our first item we ever bought was I bought it at Goodwill. It was a cute little coffee creamer. I bought it I was browsing around Goodwill and saw it. I'm like, oh, this is so cute. I think I'm going to buy that. I bring it home and I'm washing it, peeling off the sticker, and I look, I'm like, this looks really old. I'm going to look it up. How old is this? That's all I was concerned about. When I looked it up and I did Google Images, and it took me to a link on Etsy, and the thing was going for $39.99. I'm like, score!
Wow.
Yes, result.
I paid 49 cents.
Yeah, I'm living the dream. Yeah, that's it.
But then,
Dot to be continued, right?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so we ended all those Etsy listings, moved everything to eBay, said, see you later, Etsy, and just kept growing and then stepping up each store level. And George would always do the numbers, you know, and I'd say, when can we get to the anchor store? And I forget what that number was. If it was 2,000 listings, when we finally made it, then we opened the anchor. And it's just progressive. And it was always just how many listings I could do that night, you know, and I would always try to list the more expensive things first. Forget the $12 items. I don't want to deal with it. I put those in a separate box. And I'd look something up and it was $40. That got listed before anything, all that little stuff.
It just seemed like the more items we had for sale,
More you sell.
the more sales we had.
Yep.
You know, so it it became an easy thing to follow. Is the more items you get, the more sales you make, the more money you make, the more you can do shopping, which is a lot of fun. And so that's how we kept going.
So you're thrifters. Oh, sorry, Ron. Go on. No.
No, I was just going to say that's a good lesson for anyone out there that's, just starting an eBay business or maybe thinking about starting an eBay business. If you have 25 items on for sale on eBay, you're not going to do as well as if you have, several thousand. I mean, the numbers just matter. It does matter, but you got to get to that point and you got to work your way up to that. But I think what Nancy and George are saying now, they're at a point now where they've got that number and they're working on increasing that, and they're purging, they're cleaning things out. So it's a constant, it's a lot of work for sure, but they're at a point now where you're actually making sales on a regular basis, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
Except for those occasional, like, what the hell is up with eBay today? We blame it on
Yeah.
but it's a buyer's thing. It's their algorithms, whatever's happening. Sometimes we have a lull, and we just had one this past week. But now the past couple days, it's been steady again.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happens, but we just keep listing. You can't give up. People get discouraged.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like selling anything. Well, just keep listing. That's.
And one of the things that's really helped us along the way too is that we don't really sell in a specific type of item. We go out and purchase things that we think are really cool, really interesting, really different.
Ugly.
Yeah, ugly sells. We know that for a fact.
Yes.
So we don't lock to anything, where we go out and spend hours and hours sourcing, and we don't find anything because we're looking for one or two different types of items.
Yeah.
We look for anything.
We have no niche. My niche is if it's cheap and I can make money, I'm buying it.
Just like the pickers, if we can make a buck, we're in.
Yeah, and you know what? That's awesome because there are two schools of thought on a lot of things with the eBay business. One of the people, some people say, I only sell coffee cups, or sunglasses, but other people say I'll sell anything that'll sell, and that's where you guys are at, and that's where you're making your money, and that's awesome to see. We're in your store here, and we're just looking around, and you have a lot of different variety of things, and it's really kind of cool to see.
I'm loving the King Arthur Camelot incense smoker. That thing looks like a beast. That is awesome. All hail King Arthur.
We typically don't spend a lot of money on our items. We live in the Midwest. We're in the suburb of Chicago. We have awesome garage sales and rummage sales and thrift stores that are reasonably priced. We travel a lot for thrifting trips, and nowhere compares to here or to Wisconsin. Wisconsin has great thrift stores. Right. But we've done, Tennessee and Minnesota and New Orleans and everywhere, and prices seem really high there. So when we go thrifting here, they'll ask, how much you want for that? Oh, $12. I'm like, oh, man. I don't know. And other people, they wouldn't hesitate at spending $12 on that. But
you got to turn it around. You got to flip it, though, haven't you? So for the new persons, we tend to have a lot of new people listening. What's the process to get into thrifting? So you someone who's first starting out in this thing, and they walk in. If it was me and I walked into this massive building full of everything. I mean, where do I start? What do I do? What's your sort of technique without giving too many secrets away?
Some of the people that we speak to and try to get them interested and get them started, we help them along, is we tell them the best way to source to get started is you source in your own home. So you go through and you find stuff that you've had in boxes that you've moved from house to house you've lived in, have never opened. All the stuff that you have in a closet you don't use, or
something your ex-husband gave you or ex-wife that you really are tired of hanging on to, get rid of it.
Probably find
it.
Nancy, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, Nancy, we do therapy as well.
Yeah, we've both been there.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah.
You could probably find 50 to 100 items without spending any money out of your own home. And practice with those things, get to learn how the system works. And then after that, you can go out and spend money out of your pocket to actually go and buy stuff.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And one of that bit of advice that you just gave is such a theme for almost every podcast show that we do, episode, is because, everybody, everybody starts doing that. I mean, that's how most of the people start their eBay business, is selling from around the house, and realize that there's more to it than that. And they build a business out of it, and a lot of times, they're able to quit their day job working for somebody else, building their dreams to create their own dreams. And it's just amazing, the stories that we hear, how people are able to do that. And it's just so awesome. And the neat thing about it is, because every eBay seller is unique in some way or another.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just so awesome to hear stories. That's why Ali and I do this, so that we can share stories like this and, get the message out to others who are, maybe are thinking about starting an eBay store, or maybe they've been doing it for a little while and need some advice from pros like you.
Oh, thanks.
Well, the thing to remember is that you're not going to be a rock star overnight. So if your expectations are you're going to sell, it's just not going to happen.
Oh, I'm not selling on eBay then. I want to be a rock star.
It might take a couple of months, but it just takes a little bit of time. You got to work at it to be successful,
But
you don't get disappointed if it doesn't happen right away.
We still get the same excitement every time we hear that cha-ching. From 5 years ago to now, it's still like, yes. And you can't wait to look at your phone to see what's sold.
So does it cha-ching on both your phones?
Yes.
Double whammy.
But I get mine first, because his phone's slow.
Oh, right, there you go.
I don't know how.
Chinging.
How do you handle driving down the highway and the phone cha-chings like 4 times in a row? I think I'd have to pull over and take a break.
Doing the dance.
Estate sales. We love estate sales, and we follow this one estate sale company around. They're called Iron Horse. They're phenomenal. We have a really great relationship with them. But as you walk around and you're picking things up, and you hear the cha-chings in the background, 3 rooms over, and then his phone will go, mine will go, and you hear everybody's. It's like, oh yeah,
yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We're living it. That's cool. So we got a question from Sally from, I think I'm going to say it right, Pittsburgh. I don't know. I might have just said that now. I might have just made it up, actually. But she's talking about she's not very computer literate and stuff like that. And was wondering, is it on eBay, do you have to be really skillful at computers? Or, is it a thing that you could do if you're not that, good at it?
No, and I can't. George can answer to all the accounting part. I do nothing of that. I do all the listings. And I do the research on all the items. So the listings themselves, starting off the actual store, eBay step by step to set all that up. It's not a big deal. And then the actual listings, I always look at it, and because we do classes on the side, we'll teach people one-on-one. And we always tell them, if you were looking for this particular knickknack, what would you type in eBay to find it? You would type blonde girl figurine, and say I'm looking for the month of March birthstone thing. So, you type blonde girl figurine March. And those are the keywords you have to have in your listing. If you just type blonde girl March, well, who knows what you're going to get. You need the word figurine. I get listings out there all the time that don't have the actual word of what it is. It's like, forget it, or they don't think it's important because you're choosing the category of figurine, but you still need to know those keywords.
So fill up the title.
Yeah, you definitely want to fill that title up, and you want to use, like you're saying, good keywords that people are going to look at. And it's really important to take the time to get it right, because once the listing's up, you don't want to be going back and editing it and changing it and all that. You want to make sure that you've spent a little bit of time getting that listing right the first time, right?
Yes, exactly. And I probably spent, I don't know how long. I think they're all gone now. But when I first started out, I always use the EUC, NIB, all the abbreviations in the title.
Yep.
Now, if you're a seller, you know what that means. But if I'm a new buyer to eBay, I don't know what EUC means.
Yep.
And no one's going to search for EUC, excellent use condition. It's like, what?
Oh, I see.
Oh.
see what I did there?
Yeah, no, you're good, Ron. You're good.
Or don't waste your keyword spaces on words like, pretty, people don't search for that. So, use words that describe the item, not how you feel about the item.
Oh, yeah, that's
great advice.
Ron and Ali will be right back after this short break.
So, you have an idea, a big idea, and you're ready to jump into the world of e-commerce. Awesome. But where to start? The answer is only a click away. At solutionsforecommerce.com, you'll find available services to help manage, audit, or even build your e-commerce site from the ground up. With over 10 years of experience in developing and managing channels on sites like Amazon, eBay, Shopify, and Etsy, Solutions for E-commerce can help you to grow your small or large business. Take a step back from the technical and do what you do best, and let Solutions for E-commerce handle the tedious stuff like creating, reviewing, adding, or removing listings, setting up or organizing store categories, even merchandising and customer support. Find out why their clients say that their business wouldn't be what it is today without the help from Solutions for E-commerce. Visit solutionsforecommerce.com and take your e-commerce business to the next level. That's solutions, the number 4, ecommerce.com. Use promo code eBay at checkout for an exclusive So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast discount.
Be sure to check out SoYouWannaSellOnEBay.com for the latest podcasts and all the information you need to get selling fast.
You're obviously, you've got this tag team thing going, which is, and some people are doing it on their own. So what do you think your average day looks like? Do you go out in the morning, go sourcing, and then in the afternoon list? Do you take a day off? I mean, what does your week look like on an average sell over eBay?
Well, it's changed recently because I went back to work. So I left a very good job. And George says, well, if you really want to quit, babe, you can quit, but we need to have 20 grand in the bank. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, that
back to work.
So that time passed really fast. So in December, he said, we're at, the 20,000 mark. If you want to quit, you can. I'm like, okay.
So she quit.
So I quit in March of 2016.
Yeah.
And so we both did eBay full time. Thrifting at that point, we still only did Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, because those are the garage sale dates around here. In the summertime, we were out every Thursday morning, every Friday morning, every Saturday morning, sometimes on Sunday for half price at estate sales.
Yep.
And then wintertime, the only sourcing you have are estate sales and then the thrift stores. I care not much for the thrift stores anymore, only because a lot of it is just junk and it's so picked over, and you really have to know your thrift store, like back to what you were talking about before, like what you look for. Yeah. He goes for toys. He goes to the toy section and electronics.
The man section.
I go to men's T-shirts, and the one thrift store close by here, they are so neat and organized. They color coordinate all their T-shirts. So all the black shirts are together, all the gray.
What?
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
So concert T-shirts.
That's called the OCD thrift store.
They have a lot of time on their hands, but it makes it easier to find what we want, because we're only looking for like black, concert T-shirts.
Yeah, mainly concert T-shirts. You'll get the gray occasionally, but most of them are all black. So I'm flipping through those concert T-shirts. All their T-shirts are 99 cents, no matter what is on them. So we've gotten some great shirts.
Well, I'll tell you this. My concert T-shirts from when I was going to concerts, they were disposable. I remember I'd buy these Van Halen T-shirts and I'd get home, wash it, and it would disappear. It's like they were. Yeah. I think they make them a lot better now.
Yeah.
But getting back to your original question, I think my day is broken up into, I do the shipping first thing in the morning. So I try to get everything done by around 10 o'clock, get it ready for the mailman to pick up. I take all the information from all the sales we've had and go through the accounting part. So I'm always caught up in the accounting every day. And then maybe in the afternoon, I'll take an hour.
Take a nap.
Yeah, have a little nap. Watch some football.
Got to work a nap in there. But I'll take pictures for a couple of hours. I'll get tired of taking pictures, after a while.
Bet.
The lenses and the heat and all that other crap. And then I'll convert the pictures. I run them through Photoshop, clean them up a little bit, make them look, perfect like they should be. And then I'll take a nap.
He's hard at work.
He is.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I wake up at about 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And he's still sleeping, and I have my coffee, let the dogs out and all that. And then I start my Panera day. I work for Panera in catering sales. So I work from home. on my computer in my office, which was my eBay office, and now it's my eBay/Panera office. So I work from home 8 hours, and then we eat dinner, and then it's my eBay time. So then I list for 2-3 hours a night.
Amazing. I mean, it sounds like you've got this thing running like a machine. So what happens if you want to take a day off? What happens if you want to go away? Do you bring someone in?
We do.
I mean, we go on a lot of shopping trips, like weekends, or sometimes we'll take a week or 10 days and travel. I mean, our vacations are thrifting.
We don't go for pleasure.
Well,
We got shopping.
Yeah.
It's for shopping and just to get away from home.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't do the ocean thing. We did that.
We've been there, done that.
Yeah, did it a
Right
million
now,
times.
it's just more fun to go out shopping and visiting all these places we've never been to and finding all this weird stuff.
Great thrift shops when you really start going rural.
Yeah.
We're out in like Platteville, Wisconsin. If there's any listeners who live out that way and you haven't found that thrift store yet, you are missing out. They price things for like 19 cents, 29 cents. Bought a Kodak, didn't even know what it was. It was priced 59 cents. They were like color, see-through, transparent little slide things. They were all color-coded. I had no idea what it was.
Oh, yeah, those. Yeah. That's SKU number 6845, I think.
But that's why I knew nothing what it was, but it was interesting, and it was only 59 cents. Just buy it. What's the worst? Out 60 cents. Who cares? Buy it. Research it at home, because when I did on my phone, nothing was coming up. I don't have time for this. So I think that thing sold for like $90.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
You go with your gut. And that's why a lot of times when you're in the thrift stores or at a garage sale and you see people with quantity of things and they're new in package, maybe they're old stock, maybe it's new stuff. But if it's cheap enough, and just buy them all. Don't just buy it, because I've done it. It's like, I don't want to buy them all. They're $2 each. I'll just buy 2. And then you get them home and those 2 sell right away. And then you kick yourself in the ass. You should have bought them all.
There you go.
Yes.
You got to go with your gut.
Got to go with the gut.
Yeah.
Definitely got to go with the gut. So, I mean, it sounds like you've made it into a lifestyle. It's not just about selling. It's become who you are, and you, like you say, you travel, you do. You've created it into some funness.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we belong to a meetup group that's eBay and Amazon sellers that we meet like once a month. We haven't gone in a while, but
Yeah, it's been a long time.
There you get to meet people that are doing the same thing you are, and they sell different things, and everybody's got questions about this and that. And it's just a lot of fun to meet people that do the same thing.
They have the same interests, you know. And
Is that Rich and Nyla's group up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those guys.
Yeah. They're a wild bunch, but
They are. They're fun, man.
We learned quite a few things from them. A lot of it was George and I are looking at each other like, all this. We could be doing this. But we did one of the meetings was a Skype with Griff, which was phenomenal. And he gave the tip about, if you're going to do, this is before all these changes, if you were going to do free shipping, you have to choose flat rate. If you did free shipping and you never changed it from calculated, it was something with the algorithm and it goofed things up and Google didn't dump it properly, whatever. And we're like, oh my God. And we got home, we changed all our listings. But the sales blew up after that, just blew up. We're like, oh my gosh, why don't more people know about this?
So it's really important to communicate
with other sellers.
Because when we first started, we didn't know about these meetup groups. We didn't know about all the Facebook groups that are.
There weren't podcasts back then, I don't think.
We know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we created one.
Yeah.
So we
That's awesome.
How to do stuff. But now it's a lot easier for folks. There's a lot of resources out there that give you good information.
And you know what? That's great news. I mean, because really, I mean, a lot of times people that are starting their business don't have the luxury of having a partner like you guys do, and they're doing it by themselves. They're struggling. They're trying to figure things out. And it is nice to know that there's a ton of good Facebook groups. We have one. I know that there's many others out there that are very, very helpful. And, you can get that advice. You can network. You can go to conferences and meet the people and all that good stuff. So you don't, even though you're doing the business yourself or alone, you're not alone in the business or how you do things. So there's a lot to be learned there. It's really kind of cool how that works too, because I mean, obviously the people that started out a long time ago, they didn't have any of those luxuries. A lot of them didn't even have the internet available to them, So those that have muddled through all that, my goodness, man, kudos to them. Yeah.
I was shocked to learn, and this goes way back, but that eBay didn't at one time have pictures, that you had to sell on description alone.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Try doing that today. Jeez.
Pencil drawings.
Stick figures.
It's a big metal block thing and it's got a spiky thing at the top,
And
right. And it's got a scratch.
I tried to increase the amount of listings I was doing per night. So I decided, you know what? I am not going to get all wordy and descriptive, like, ceramic girl with sequins on the gown. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to state the facts, and he's going to show a ruler in every picture, right?
Yep.
And I did that for a while, and I just felt like it was not complete. I just couldn't do it. I think I probably did 20 listings that way, and I went back. I gotta put words in it, because I think it helps sell the items too.
Yeah.
And we put a ruler. We don't put a Coke can. We don't put a dollar bill. We don't put a Bic lighter for size of reference.
Yeah.
I think be a great.
You've seen those before, haven't you, Nancy?
Yes.
Yeah.
But if anyone's doing it, I think a ruler is perfect measurement, because everyone.
Because perspective is also, you could be up further and the Coke can could look bigger or smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, it messes with your
I've
head.
seen air freshener cans. Now, I don't get that at all, because depending on where you live and what brand of air fresheners you have available, it could be a size anyone. How do you know?
And who really wants to run to the store to get an air freshener can to come back to see if it matters?
Especially from a thrift store. I mean, what's it doing in a thrift store? Is it like half empty or something?
It smells like a men's locker room.
Yeah.
Something very small. We will, if he remembers, because he's the picture guy.
Yeah.
He'll remember sometimes to put the quarter or the dime next to something very small, a very miniature item.
Right.
A quarter or a dime will work.
And even so, even if we do
People
the ruler,
still ask, what size is it?
Yeah, what size is it? Or when they get it, when they buy it from us, they say, well, I thought it'd be bigger. I said, well, there's a ruler.
I don't know what to you, but
You don't see that ruler there, mate. Jeez.
Yeah. It sounds like you guys have good processes in place to make it a lot easier for you. But I do have a question for you about, when you walk into a new thrift store, how long on average do you think it takes you to realize that this is a good place to shop or a bad place to shop?
I go up and down every aisle, no matter what thrift store.
Because it could be that one thing, no matter what the condition of the store is.
Someone had it in their hand and they changed their mind and they put down figurine over by the electronics. He would pass up the figurine, but I would see it. So he's not a knick-knacky guy. He'll still look at them. He'll pick a few things up, but
I'm in and out of there in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I bet you are. I would be.
Man, I'm with you, brother.
I'm done.
am so with you, man.
I did my sections. I'm done. I'm like, now you're gonna have to. Because I still have to go through this whole rack of clothes.
It all depends if it looks organized, if it's clean, and just that kind of stuff. For me. I'm not gonna pick through a place that's just bad.
I'd be waiting in the car park myself. Jeez, I'm not going in there.
And I don't care. Like, I love the dig and dives. You get dirty, man. You get down there with them.
Oh, yes.
Places over the shopping carts.
Get in there.
Like, get me the hell out of here. Wait in the car.
I'm going to wait in the car.
Come out and you're all dirty. Your hair's all messed up, but you found some goodies, didn't you? That's awesome.
The first time I went to one of those dig and dives, I didn't know. I had no idea what to expect or what happened. And George was off doing something, and I'm looking, and there's this cart sitting next to me for God knows how long, and I keep eyeing it because I see these stuffed animals in it. And I keep looking, and I'm like, oh, yeah, those are good ones. And I'm looking, and no one claims it. I'm like, I'm going over there.
That's mine.
I'm looking.
Big mistake.
I'm looking,
Yeah.
I'm picking it up. I'm like, oh, that one's got a stain. Nope, that one's got a rip. And I put them back in. Well, now I move like 3 troughs over from where I was. Some lady, excuse me. I understand you were touching the things in my cart. And I said,
Oh my gosh.
excuse me, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Well, you don't do that here. I'm like, okay, I didn't take any of them. I was just looking. Sorry.
Hopefully she's listening now.
Parts, people.
Yeah.
Jeez, she's still got that item on eBay. So where do you see yourself in the future? It's like we've run out of time. It's 29 minutes. So what's your plans? Are you going to expand? What are you looking at?
No,
here?
we're actually
No,
we're changing our thinking and our spending process and the quality of the items we buy. So prior, quarter, 50 cents, dollar. If we spent $2 an item 5 years ago, that was pushing it. So we were spending 50 cents and we would make 50, and we did that over and over. And that's how we grew. I mean,
Wait. Say that again.
You made these
50 cents turned into $50.
On some
Okay.
items, not all items,
Right.
but on a lot of items, we were lucky enough to get $25 to $50 for the right 50-cent, $1 item.
Right.
And that's why I had you repeat that for the person who's out there. I mean, seriously, like Ali said earlier, we have a lot of people that are thinking about starting an eBay business out there, and these things happen all the time. We hear these
All the
stories
time.
time. Spend 50 cents or $1, you make $50 on the thing. Wow, how impressive!
Yeah. In fact, what started us on plush was a 50-cent teddy bear that I bought at Goodwill. Knew nothing about it, just knew it was old. Got it home, looked it up, and one person was selling it for $899. Only one available, none in sold. I'm like, oh my God. Well, I'm putting mine on auction because I have nowhere idea where it'll go.
Yeah.
I put it at $149 to start. As soon as I listed it, I got a bid. I was like, oh my God, we're buying stuffed animals from now on.
Yes, and the neat thing about that is they're cheap to ship.
Yes, they are. And
Yeah.
they're everywhere. They're at every garage sale, at every thrift
Yeah,
store.
and you can sell them cheap and do free shipping. And
Yeah,
and really,
as long as they're clean and not stinky and there's no dog hair on them, I mean, you do have to inspect them well.
if you
Yeah.
pay 50 cents and a couple
But-
bucks to ship them and you sell them for 20 bucks,
Unbelievable.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
money that you can use just to buy more stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
You don't have
definitely.
to $50 or $100 in every item, but,
Right.
it all kind of balances out.
And we don't do, we only do auctions on items like that. If I can't find a history of a sold item and I really can't base anything on that's active, I don't have a clue. I'm not going to spend 20 minutes researching. My time's valuable. So I'll just wing it. I'm going to start that auction at the minimum I'm willing to accept for that.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we had this little acrylic Dr. stove. It was a piece of his ship encased in acrylic, a little piece of wood. I bought it at an estate sale for $1. I had no idea. It was really kind of ugly.
But it was kind of
It
cool.
was kind of cool. I researched it, couldn't find anything. I'm like, that's it. We're putting up an auction. That thing went, I don't know, $200. I paid $1.
Amazing.
So you don't have to invest a lot to make a lot. It just buy unique, buy ugly, buy cheap. It's anything sells, and you can make a living off of it.
Wow.
So we've saved a lot of money,
Oh, yeah.
and turned it back into our house. We remodeled the kitchen cash, where you would have to finance that. We didn't have to do that. We made a little nest egg, all our eBay profits, and when we had enough money, okay, let's remodel the kitchen. Okay, when we have enough money, I can quit my job. When we have enough money, we're moving.
Amazing.
Love it.
Amazing. And what a great note to finish on. I mean, there is that opportunity. It's not this fantasy but as you said before, you have to put a bit of work or a lot of work into this pretty often to make that happen. But Nancy, George, we're going to have to get you back on because I've got loads more questions I could carry on asking, So, but this is fantastic. Thanks so much because you're showing one that you're doing it together, but you're just creating so much fun out of it. We can tell by the way you got so much experience and you really, really enjoy doing it. So thanks for joining us today. We've had a great time chatting with you.
It was nice
Thank
chatting
you.
to you here,
It's a
too.
pleasure. Thanks for contacting us.
No worries.
Absolutely.
We'll post all the notes from today's interview on our show notes page, which can be found at www.soyouwantasellonebay.com/show notes. Nancy, George, before you leave us, how can everyone get in contact with you?
This, that, and et cetera. What?
Phone number, okay? I mean, it's...
Whatever
phone
you
number?
want. Yeah, I mean, you might get whatever.
You might get some crazy phone calls. Don't give your phone number.
I'll be one of them.
George, give Nancy's phone number. That's right.
Yeah.
I'll give you my phone number. It's not a problem. 847-321-0154.
Brilliant. Okay,
Awesome.
well, if you got any questions or you want to buy some stuff or some weird stuff or whatever it is, give Nancy and George a shout out and that'll be awesome. Once again, thanks for joining us. Oh, we've also got a resources page. I've got to keep to the script here. The resources page, check that out because we got some great links in there and we keep updating it with other stuff because great people like Nancy and George give us ideas of links to put on there, so that's great. We've also got NarillaDigitalMarketing.com. Go over there. That's a website that helps you create your empires, create your own websites, stuff like that. Mine and Ron's new empire. So from everyone here at So You Want to Sell on eBay, I'm Ali Young.
And I'm Ron LeBeau.
That's all for this episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. Be sure to check out our next episode or any past episodes by going online to soyouwantasellonebay.com. Also, be sure to follow us on your favorite social media sites, facebook.com/So You Want to Sell on eBay, and Twitter at Your eBay Podcast. Thanks for listening. And until next time, happy selling.
Have an idea for a topic or know someone who would like to be on the show? Let us know. Just go to www.soyouwantasellonebay.com/interview. We look forward to hearing from you. This podcast was produced in part by Pro VoiceWorks.